Sleeping in your car really isn't that bad. However, it definitely is not ideal. I've learned a thing or two about the nomad lifestyle. One lesson I learned the hard way. There's a parking lot that I was sleeping in. When I found it, I thought I'd hit the jackpot of parking lots in which to sleep. It doesn't have any lights back there, so it stays nice and dark at night. It's behind a car sales lot beside the LA River, so as far as privacy goes, there was a bit more than most places I'd slept. Privacy. The number one rule I've learned from sleeping in my car: always sacrifice privacy for safety. I learned this the hard way. Let me explain. So one day in this hidden gem of a parking lot, I started noticing items piling up at the end of it. The way this lot is built, it actually wedges into a dead end. At this dead end, there's a hole cut in the fence and a trail that leads down to the LA River. The trail is littered with trash and debris, and the LA River is notorious for attracting the many homeless people in LA. So I knew it was probably just some homeless guy's stuff. No big deal. Well, every day more and more stuff was piling up. Big stuff, too. At some point, someone had managed to get a full-size couch back there. There was a couple different shopping carts full of bottles, cans, and random trash. There were blankets, pillows, the works. The strange part was, I'd never seen anyone there. And at this point, there was basically a whole makeshift outside apartment at the end of the lot. Here's where the story gets a bit twisted, and I'm getting a little rattled just telling you about it. One night last week, it was a bit hotter than usual. I didn't want to waste gas by running the car with the AC on, so I left my windows cracked, just enough to let the breeze roll through the car. After tossing and turning, trying to get comfortable in the heat, I finally fell asleep. I woke up a couple times after having some bizarre dreams, but I fell right back asleep. Then, I jerked awake, drenched in sweat and panting like I'd just run a mile. I looked at the clock. It was a little after midnight. I tried to go back to sleep again, but suddenly, I heard a man scream, "Shut the fuck up!" I bolted upright and looked out, but it was so dark that all I could see was the silhouette of a man with a big scraggly beard and long hair sitting on the couch. My first thought was, well, that solves the mystery of whose shit this is. But then I thought, who is he talking to? Are there two of them? I can barely make out one. Then he continued to yell. I began to eavesdrop. The things he said, He was having an argument, but there was never a response. I figured he had an Obama phone and was just yelling at somebody on the other end. But the more he said, the more I realized he was not on a call at all. This man was schizophrenic and yelling at the voices in his head. He said things like,
"No, go away. I told you I'm not doing that again." "Well, what did you expect? He's in the car." "Well, what was I supposed to do? It's been 7 fucking years. The fuck it hasn't."
He was sounding more aggressive with each thing he said.
"So how am I supposed to do that? Kill him? Oh, now I've hypnotized you so it doesn't count? I'm sick of your shit. I'm not killing anyone else. Do you want it all to happen again?"
At this point, I'm like, okay, I don't know what he's talking about, but I need to leave. This guy has voices in his head telling him to murder somebody, and I don't want to be anywhere near that. I grabbed my keys and stuck them in the ignition. Before I started the car, I heard him yelling again.
"I already checked the car for weapons. Yes, I found a knife. No, I told you that's my blood. I didn't cut anybody but myself. Oh, I'm a pussy because I cut myself? So what? You want me to kill him with his own knife?"
I felt my heart pounding in my chest. I always kept a knife in my middle console, just in case I ever needed it. I wanted to believe that he wasn't talking about me. I glanced down at the console. I reached over and slowly began to open it. Once it was open far enough, I quickly glanced in, and my heart dropped. My knife was gone. I turned the car on and flipped on the headlights. They hit the man right in the face. He immediately got up and ran through the hole in the fence into the woods that led down to the LA River. I squealed the tires in reverse and then whipped it around and peeled out forwards. I could not have gotten out of there fast enough. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I began to fall into an anxiety attack, so I pulled into a gas station down the road. I tried to collect myself. It took a while, but I eventually calmed down. I looked around to see if possibly I'd just misplaced my knife. As I was looking around, I realized that the back doors were locked, and the passenger door was locked. The windows were barely cracked. That means the only way in was through my door. There's no way this man had really entered my car while I was sleeping, right? Had he breached over the top of me to get into my middle console and steal my knife? There's no way, I thought. It was still dark outside, so I got my phone out and turned the flashlight on. I almost wish I hadn't. There were bloody handprint smudges all over the edge of the console, the door, the steering wheel, and my pants. He really had been in my car. I have the bloodstains to prove it. I can't help but think of how much worse it could have been if I hadn't woken up. It was almost like he was trying to warn me by yelling about it. Like the voices in his head were telling him to kill me. But he didn't want to. The scary part about schizophrenia, sometimes they do things that the voices tell them to do, even if they don't want to. Needless to say, from then on, whenever I'm looking for a place to park and sleep, I seek out safety, not privacy.